Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Preethi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay,
Yes.
so let's begin. We were in this folder, right? So now you can relate to the things well as you have seen all of this practically. Now, yeah, let's look into many other interesting things today. Just a second. Okay. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Preethi.
Yes.
Okay, somehow it went to mute. All right, we have created files, right? Let us see deleting the file. Okay, how do you delete the file? And also before that, I would like to show you git ls files will list the files in the staging area, right? Now I want to delete some file, git rm. Yes, Purushottam, any questions? You have raised the hand. Git rm file 1. Okay, I'm trying to delete it. Any question, you can unmute and speak out or else put the question in the chat window.
Sure, Preethi. Nothing for now. Thank you.
Okay. So git rm. See, when I say git rm, the file is deleted, right? Also, when you see the status at this point, it says that changes to be committed. Like I told you yesterday, or like we were talking about, any change, Git works with respect to change. That change might be deleting a file, that change might be creating a file. Whatever it is, Git works with respect to changes, and any change should go from working directory to staging area, from staging area to local repository only. Right. So now I have deleted the file. Okay. Now let's suppose now I just want to commit these changes. It is showing changes to be committed. So whenever you delete the file, you have to commit that like deleted the file, some commit message. Right. Now if you
Is that
do
like a
this,
memory? Is that like a memory and save original file, right?
see here, it is like a virtual thing happening with a Git. Git objects are there. The Git objects will take care of this. Like you are not seeing the file here in the working directory as well as the local repository. If you see, do you see that? It's not present in the local repository as well. Can you see that? Yeah. So file is completely gone. Do you mean that actually it's deleted, but you can revert it? All of that will be stored in the Git objects. But as for you, like as far as we are concerned with our repository, yes, we don't have the file here. Right? So file is gone. This is one way to delete the file, both from working directory and the staging area. Right? Let's suppose you want to delete the file only from local repository. How do you do that? Meaning, let's take these two examples. I mean, these two files. Let's suppose I want this file to be in my working directory. Let's suppose it's a Word document. Okay, I just want to keep it in working directory, but I don't want to keep it in the local repository. What I can do, maybe it's some documentation. Git rm cached file2. Typo. Right? So file2 is gone. Right? You can see here file2, I mean file2 is still here, but if you see here, right, there is no file2. And also if you check the status, changes to be committed, right? Like I said, any change, when you make any change, you should commit that. So what we'll do, git commit -a or else minus m, or minus a minus m, let's say file to deleted, right? Now if you see ls, right, you have file to, like I have already shown you. See, it's not present in the local repository. Also, it is when you do git status. Okay, fine. File 2 is still there in my working directory. It's not there in local repository because it's not a configuration file. It's, let's say, just a Word document I have taken as a notes. But here it is keep on showing me untracked file. Why was it showing as such?
It's haven't committed to local repository.
Means it's like again like a new file, right? Means whatever files there in this particular folder git demo, git will be tracking all of them, isn't it? Git keep on tracking whatever you have in this folder, because it's a local repository, because you have initialized git. You remember yesterday we did git in it. It became local repository, means whatever in that folder, git will be keep on tracking them. So there is a file called file2 in the working directory, means it's like a new file. It's not there in the staging area. It's not there in local repository. It's totally like a new file. Correct? Yeah. So what it is saying, it is asking us to add and commit. Like it is asking us to add and commit. But let's suppose, like I already mentioned, let's say it's a Word document. It's some notes I have taken for my project. Okay, it's some documentation, some personal notes, or else it might be some log file. In reality, this scenario comes up like that might be a log file, which you don't need to version control, right? Or else it might be an executable file generated. You don't need to version control those things. But Git keep on tracking us, Git keep on telling us to version control this. How can we handle this? How can we tell Git not to track this file? Is there any way? Means some project related documents might be there, some log files might be there, some executables might be there. I just want to keep them in the folder, but I don't want Git to track them. Is it possible? Understood, everyone? Hello, am I audible? Can you all hear me? Actually, some problem with my system. It was rebooting and yeah, some problem. Yeah. Okay. So we were talking about removing the files, right? And yeah. Have you followed till this part? We deleted using RM cache and this was being showing here. Followed till this part, everyone?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So now I'm talking about why this was showing this way. Because it's like a new file. Yesterday we have seen whenever we created a new file, it will be showing like you have to add and commit, right? Because see, this is a Git demo is a local repository. We have initialized Git. Do you remember Git init? Means Git init means we initialize Git means it become a local repository, and whatever changes, whatever files you have in that folder will be keep on tracking by Git. But I don't want to Git to track this file because, like I said, it might be a Word documentation, or else in reality, real use case could be it might be a log file, or else it might be an executable file. We don't need to version control them, but still want to keep in the same directory. Or else certain cases are like in reality, in our use case, particularly for DevOps in Terraform, we have something called state files, state backup files. We will be seeing these scenarios in the Terraform classes. So those files will have sensitive data, which I don't want to version control, which I don't want to put it on GitHub. So how can I tell Git not to track certain files? How can we do that? You got the point? So how to tell Git not to version control this file too? Is there any way? Because I just want to keep it in the same folder, but Git should not give me such messages like add and commit. I don't want to put it in local repository. how to do that. That's where comes something called git ignore into picture, right? Git ignore is again a file, right, through which you can tell like whichever files you don't want to version control. Okay, we will do that. We will use git ignore, but before that I would like to show you one more thing, one more interesting thing. See, till now we were using a notepad as an editor, right? This is our folder. This is our folder, git demo. And here we were creating notepads, or else you may use notepad++. Those are all different editors. Rather than all of these editors, there is a best editor called VS Code editor, which is preferable. And even companies were looking for experience into this. It's just an editor. Okay, it is very easy. You can download it on Mac or Linux or Windows accordingly, right? Here it is. Once you download, you have to just launch it from the start menu, like open the app directly. And this is how it looks. This is very much a recommended tool because for majority of our Kubernetes files will be using it. This is the preferred approach. Okay, you can open the folder from here. Go to file menu, open the folder like whichever you want. I was working on this file, this folder, right? So select this folder. Okay, you will see all the files we have created there, right? Same as this one, right? This is how you can see, right? Very easy. Also, you can launch your terminal here. Rather than using a Git bash separately this way, you can also launch your terminal. Initially, PowerShell is launched. You can choose your Git bash. So the same terminal you can use here. Okay, also commands are sent. This is much better. This is the real way. In reality, we are using VS Code editor majority of the case or some other editors, but this is the best preferred approach. Also do practice on this so that you'll be very much familiarized using this. Okay, so fine. Yeah, we are having this. Now I said I don't want to track this file. So how to do that? You can use something called git ignore. Git ignore is another file. You can create files here this way. .git ignore. Okay. The file name should be .git ignore, and here you have to put the files whichever you don't want to version control. I have placed this one. Save this. Okay. Once you save this at the back end, do you see this is another advantage of VS Code editor. You can see it was grayed out, right? Also, now if you do the status, git status, see it's no more tracking file to. Do you notice that? That's what is git ignore does. Means it's not tracking this file anymore. This file is not being tracked anymore, right? But git ignore is also another file. It's after all another file. So it is asking us to add and commit like any other file, add it and commit that. Git commit -m ignore file added. Understood everyone? At the back end you can see now if you keep the cursor, it says like the file name. If it is untracked, it will show you here U and all. Am I clear? Yeah. So git ignore is very important. We will see the practical use cases of it as well as we go by. When we start our Terraform, Ansible projects, we'll also see its usage. This is the simple way you are ignoring the file. Right? So this is how you can delete the files and you can version control this way. Now let's suppose, and one more thing, here in ignore file, you can also ignore multiple files. Let's suppose there were so many log files. I want to ignore all of them. Star.log means any files ending with extension .log should be ignored. Even that's possible this way using while characters, right? So that's about git ignore. And by now, if you see the brief log, we have done a bunch of commits, right? So many commit IDs you have, so many things we have done. Now we'll talk
Can you
about
just, ma'am, can you just enlarge your font size a bit?
this one, or terminal size we can't
Ma'am,
enlarge. This one we can.
ma'am, yes, ma'am. Not terminal size, not
That
inside Visual Studio Code, but in your file explorer, na, the commands which you are writing, it's very tiny.
here
Above
in the
area where get ignore you have written file2.txt.
this one,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Yeah.
Oh, those are file contents.
Inside terminal is okay, but the commands which you were writing in your
Got it. Yeah.
yeah, now visible. Thank you.
Okay. So that's about git ignore, right? And we have got some bunch of commits. What if you want to undo any particular commit? What is meant by undo? What is the dictionary meaning of undo?
Reverting.
Reverting the changes.
Means,
Revert
let's
back.
suppose you have created a file. You undo means, correct? Or else you have deleted a file. You have to undo means, correct? So that's what is undo, like reversing the things. Similarly, you can undo a particular commit, like let's say I have got a bunch of commits. Here ignore file is added. I want to undo. Get the commit ID. Okay, and how do you undo? Git revert. Okay, git revert that particular commit ID. Okay, so whatever changes happened in this commit will be reversed. Also, let's suppose I would like to refer this commit ID as A. I can't write the entire alphanumeric ID, right? I'm writing it as A. Suppose I have undo. Let's say it became B. Again, you can revert this, right? Again, it will be another commit ID C, but it would be same as A, isn't it? Let's suppose in A, I have deleted a file. In B, it's created back. If I undo this again it's same point as A. Okay? But every revert will generate a new commit ID. Okay. You got this logic, right? A, B, and C. Right? The ID will be different, but the state, like the changes would be the remain same, correct? That's a simple logic. Now let me revert this. See, it will open you an editor where you can put some revert message, like commit message. Okay, like let's say reverting ignore file. Okay, some message and save this. See, this will open an editor. Okay, and to save this, escape colon WQ exclamatory. Okay, escape colon WQ exclamatory. That's how you save the file. We will learn this Vim editor separately in our Linux classes. Just remember escape colon WQ exclamatory symbol will save the file and close it. Okay, so the revert message might have been saved. If you see the log, see here, like I told, right, every revert will generate a commit ID or revert ID, whatever you call it, and the message you have given. Also at the back end, do you notice that ignore file is gone? Because in that commit, ignore file is created. I have undo that, so the file is gone. Do you see this? And file 2 is being untracked. Means it's again tracking this file 2. Got the logic, everyone? See, because ignore file is gone. File 2 is being tracked again. Clear, everyone? Any questions or is it clear?
So once you revert that physically the file will be there, right? Dot it down.
No, physically also you will not have the file there. File is gone, like file is deleted. It was undo, it has undo the changes you have done earlier. Means you have created the file earlier, there is a file. Now there will be no file present there. Whatever you see in the folder, you are seeing here. In this folder, you will have only these things. See, only these are the things you have in this folder.
Means we are not doing on files, we are doing on steps which we have done, right? Undo and reading the steps we have done.
Steps meaning?
Sorry?
Steps meaning? What do you mean by steps?
Like steps means that the changes, right? Like not we are not deleting or redoing the files, we are doing the changes.
Correct.
Redoing
Like,
the
see, you
changes.
are undoing a particular commit. Undoing means you are reversing. In that commit, you have created a file.
Means
So
in
you
between
undo
that,
that, the file is gone. It's not that manually you are deleting the file. You have undo the revert. You have reverted the changes.
means everything between that commit ID, what we have done will be redo. Undo.
Correct.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's what. Reversing means whatever changes you have done in this particular commit has been undo, right? Similarly, you have one more thing here, this one, right? If you want to undo this, again, you can do it. Git revert this particular commit ID. So your ignore file will be back, correct? Yeah, I'm undoing
Yes, yes.
this. This has deleted ignore file. Now again, I'm reverting it. Your ignore file should be back. See here again the commit message. Reverting again. Okay. So, do you see at the back end here? Yeah, this came up and file 2 will be no more tracking. Its status. See? Okay. Also, let me show you in the folder also. See? Understood everyone? Yes or no will help me. Any questions, confusions?
Yes,
Is it
yes,
clear?
yes,
Please confirm me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Preethi.
That is a reverting, which is very helpful part. Also ignore. Another important component. Like I told you, its importance, right? To exclude the log files or any documents or sensitive data which you don't want to version control, which you don't want to track it. Such things, that's where Git ignore comes in. These are very important concepts on Git to check your understanding, to validate your understanding. Okay, you visit the quiz. You make sure you're completing. How many of you have completed the quiz yesterday? Yesterday I could not check the reports. Today I'll check it. Like how many of you have done with the first quiz? No one?
I have done it yesterday.
Okay, thank you. Whoever have not, please go through it. This is the second one. Like whatever we have learned today. Do you see that? Right? Git revert do. What does git revert do? That is to validate. When using git revert, what happens to commit history? That's for you to analyze. A lot of things on git revert. Git rebase will be covering as we go by. So take up this. Also, yesterday's quiz is the quiz related to yesterday's questions. And I tell you, there might be some questions out of topic also. That those were given intentionally. Some of them might be covered in the coming up session. Some of them to explore and you to answer. Okay, so GitHub are same as some of you are asking. They were all here to validate your understanding and checking confirming the right command. So please go through it. It will just take 5 minutes of your time. If you are taking up them quickly and on time, we would be interested to add more quiz to check your learning. Let us know if you want more. But please make sure you're doing it.
Sure.
All right, so coming back, that's about revert and ignore. Let us talk about another interesting part called a reset. What is this reset? Again, let me show you the log. See, by now we have done a bunch of commits, right? So there's a huge commit history. Suppose at some point you realize that like I don't want these bunch of commits. You don't want in the sense because see the requirement completely changed. I don't want this. I don't want to maintain this log history as well. I don't want to maintain them in the history as well. So at that point you can do reset. Reset will undo a successive commits. a bunch of commits. It's not a random commit. Successive 5 commits you want to undo, or else successive 10 commits you want to undo. Okay, that's where you can use git reset, meaning you can do it in multiple ways. Let's suppose I don't want these 2 commit IDs. Means if I remove them, this becomes the topmost commit ID, right? So you can say git reset hard head tilde 2. Means top 2 commits will be discarded. Discarded means they'll be wiped off from the commit history. Also, whatever changes happen there will be wiped off. Understood? So if you don't want the changes, there's no point of mentioning the log history, right? Let's say I want to keep the log history clean. You can do this reset. But reset is very powerful and destructive command. Meaning, if changes are gone, they are gone forever. You can't get them back like you do revert, right? So that's a point you have to make a note. Also,
One
whenever
question
you
that why we are using in like this what we call what is it? It's in Java or what is JDK, JRE or what it is. Why could we not use in command prompts? Or do we it has a mandatory to use like UiPath or something like this portal? What we call is developing tool. I didn't remember.
have you joined just now? May I know who is this?
This is Anwar.
Have you joined just now, Anwar?
Yeah, I was on another call and joined but left and again I joined it.
So like I said, this is a VS Code editor. I have explained about its importance. If you are joining late, please revisit the topic, or else let me give you a simple overview here. This is an editor, just an editor. Like you have Notepad++, Notepad. This is editor to manage your files. A better sophisticated editor where you can manage your files, edit the files at the same time. You can launch your Git Bash terminal. This is nothing but your Git Bash terminal. Okay.
This is mandatory in every environment?
It's
Or
not
is there
mandatory,
only
but
one?
good to use.
Okay, only this one tool will use it.
This is one of the tools people use. This is most widely used tool. Okay,
Okay,
any
thanks.
questions regarding this? Please, let's take up at the end. Okay, we were talking about reset. Reset is like it will discard a bunch of commits, a successive commits. Reset head tilde 2 means it will discard these 2 commits. And then this becomes the topmost or the latest commit ID, right? Till now, this is the latest commit ID or the topmost commit ID. When you reset, this becomes the topmost commit ID, right? That's called, that's where you will use reset. And because of this reset, like we have some pointers called head. Head is a pointer in Git. Pointer means it will point, this head pointer will always point to the latest commit. Means head is pointing to this commit ID, always, the latest one. But now after reset, your head will be pointing to this. Head pointer will be pointing to this commit ID. That's what is reset. Let me just run this command. See, head is now changed. Head pointer is now here. That's what it is saying. See, do you see that those 2 commits were gone? Those 2 commits were wiped off completely. That's what reset does. Reset hard. And it's a destructive. You can't get them back. Do you see it's not generating any new ID? Do you notice that? Like revert, it's not generating any commit ID. Correct? Similarly, you can also do this way. Git reset hard. I want only these 2. Okay, you can also just put that commit ID also, whichever you want to have it as a topmost commit ID. This is also possible. Tell me.
So this will actually delete only the logs, right? So whatever.
Also the commits in those, also the changes happened in those commits. Not only it will wipe off from the commit history, whatever changes happened during those commits also will be gone.
Okay, so in case, for an example, if there is a commit ID, so that is that we have
Sorry,
created
come
it.
again, please. There is no commit ID.
No, what I'm saying, see, probably I can say file to Dell. So there is a commit ID, right? File to Dell. So just under the headmaster. Okay.
It is the commit ID, right?
Yeah. So
Mm.
that's a commit ID. So in
Mm.
case if I reset that commit ID, the
Mm.
file to Dell. So along with that commit ID, the file to also would get deleted.
Yes.
Okay.
See, you can't, one more thing, you can't reset a random ID here. Okay.
Mhm.
Only the successive. Like this one I have kept means all above that will be gone. Okay. Or else you can put head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, head till 6. Either head till 6 or else this one, both are same. It means it doesn't mean that you are resetting this commit ID. You are resetting 1, 2, 3, 6. Understood? That's what is the previous command we did. This is the previous command, right? This way you can do, or else you can put the commit ID, whichever becomes the topmost commit ID. So now head pointer is moved to this. You see only means whatever changes happened during all of this have gone. Understood, everyone? Any questions? This is called destructive and very powerful command because, like I said, changes gone are gone forever. You cannot get them back. That's why this is not used on regular basis. This is very rarely used. Only if you know very obvious, very you are very sure you don't need these changes anymore, you may do reset. On regular basis, we do revert. You can't reset a random commit ID, Utkarsh. Only the successive commit IDs can be reset.
So
Also,
I started my day with it. I played and made a mess, so I can reset to back to where I started and make it clean again. That's right.
Correct.
Yeah, Preethi, if we are at the point where you created an dot git ignore and added file to that point, right? And if I changed my headmaster master branching to that point, if still it is tracking the file is git ignore is tracking that file means it would be anything wrong.
I did not get the scenario. Can you repeat?
Okay. You if you are changing to the point of commit where you have added a file to git ignore, okay, dot git ignore. After that, same as it is not tracking, you should go to that point, right?
It is not tracking which file 2.
Yeah, file 2. If it is tracking means what would be the anything it would be wrong there. Everything working tree is clean. 1 2 is the 1 2 tests are both are tracking.
See,
But
working tree is clean means it is not tracking, right?
working, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Working clean is clean, but it is tracking both. I can
How do
see
you
that
know it's tracking both? Working tree is clean means file 1,
working
file
tree.
2 are
Yeah,
committed.
yeah. If we type the git log / one line, right? In that it is showing both files.
File 1, file 2.
Yes.
See, that's previous commit. It doesn't mean it's tracking. That's a previous commit. In the previous commit, you have them. That's all. It doesn't mean it's tracking.
Oh, okay.
In
Okay.
that commit, you have made those changes. That's all. It doesn't mean it's tracking.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, so that's about reset hard. Like I said, reset is a very rarely used. It's not a frequent commit on regular basis because we know it doesn't generate a commit ID. It doesn't generate a commit ID means you can't revert it, right? Generally, revert, when you run git revert, it will generate a commit ID and it can be reverted again. But that's not the case with reset. So you should be very careful. There are also other types of reset. We hardly use them. We never use them. But from the point of interview, or else if you just want to have some idea, let me give you this diagram which will help you understand this concept very easily. This is a bit complex because people struggle understanding this. Let me simplify this concept to you. There are different types of resets. Okay, like working directory, staging area, local repository. And we have seen hard reset. There are also something else like soft reset and mixed reset. Okay. When you do hard reset, changes are wiped off completely from everywhere. So there is no point you can get them back. That's what we have seen now. Similarly, soft reset is there. Soft reset means you will have your changes in the staging area. Sorry, they'll be removed from 1 second. Yeah. In the soft reset, your changes will be removed from working directory and staging area. Right? What if you want to get the changes back? Is it possible to get the changes back in this case? It's possible, right? If you commit, you get the changes back. That's a soft reset, right? Your changes will be removed from local repository. Again, if you want, you can get the changes back. Similarly, mixed reset. When you do mixed reset, your changes will be removed from local repository, staging area. You will still have the changes in the working directory. So can you get the changes back in this case? By add and commit, you can get the changes, isn't it? So this is what is the different types of resets you have. So only the difference is the command is same. Wherever you put hard, you put soft or mixed. We use it very rarely, but this chart should help you understand the concept. In hard reset, changes are gone from everywhere, so you cannot get them back. In soft reset, changes are gone from local repository. Sorry, I placed here in the reverse. 1 second. Yeah. In the soft reset, your changes are gone from the local repository. You will still have them in the working directory and staging area. So if you commit them, you can get the changes back. Is this chart clear and making sense?
Yeah, I have one small question. So to just understand, see hard reset. So probably I created one file on Monday. So I did some changes on the Friday. Okay, on the same week, and then I did some of the changes on the very next week. Okay, so overall 2 weeks of work that I have did. I mean, I 2 weeks of changes that I have made, and we have latest commit code on the third week. Okay, so if I do a hard reset of that particular commit ID, so whatever the changes that I have made or whatever the files that were there for the entire 3 weeks, that would be completely wiped off. Is it? Is it my understanding is right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So in the same scenario, how the soft reset would work?
Soft reset is, it is just removing from your local repository. It means whenever you do soft reset and whenever you do git status, it will tell us, please keep muted. There's a lot of background coming from others. Please everyone keep muted. When you're talking, you can unmute.
This is like I have opened one each. This is read owner is Gayatri. And here also account is here Gayatri. Okay.
Can you keep muted, everyone?
So when you will see, finding for me.
I think Prashant Shahu.
No, it's coming.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm talking about soft reset, right? Whenever you do this soft reset, your changes will be removed from local repository. And when you do git status, you will see that changes are in the staging area. Means it will be like changes to be committed. The message would be like changes to be committed. Understood?
Yeah, correct.
And in the mixed reset changes, your status message will be like changes, unstaged changes, like changes to be added. Understood the concept of reset, everyone? This chart should help understand the concept without any confusion, without any other misunderstanding, right? This help you ease the concept. So if you just want to refer, have a look at this chart. right? But we don't use it. It's very rarely used. Hard reset we have used. That's more than required. All right then. Am I clear? Can I move on for the next part? Okay. So yeah, that's about revert and reset. We will talk about branching tomorrow. Branching is another important real concept. But before that, I would like to show you one more interesting thing. Here I'm having two files as of now, right? If I do git status, yes, I have everything clean. Two files are there, git ls files. You have two files here as well. Good. Now let's do an interesting thing. I'm creating a new file. You may use existing files also. Anyway, I'm creating a new file. I'm writing something like hello, save it. Okay. Now I just made some modifications to this file. Okay. Now tell me, is this file having unstaged changes or not?
Yes.
Yeah, it's having unstaged changes. Also, let's suppose here, I would like to do one thing. I would like to add this file 3. Okay, they were added. And I would like to git commit -m new file edit or something like this. Done. So it is all good, right? I have got this new file. Now what I want is, let's say I'm making some modification. Okay. So obviously this is having some unstaged change, correct? I'm having some unstaged change. Now
No.
let's suppose.
Okay. Sorry,
So,
we will
which
not
tool?
have unstaged, right?
Tell me.
We will not have unstaged, right now.
Right now we will not have. See, just now I added this line, right?
Yes, but it is not new file.
Unstaged. I'm not saying untracked.
Okay.
Untracked means new file. That's why I'm saying unstaged. It's having unstaged change. So if you want to see unstaged change, you can see git diff file 3. Git diff file name will show you unstaged changes of the file. Right? Yep. See, earlier this is the content there, but now this is the content it was constrained. It will show you like these are the unstaged changes. Let me do one thing. I'll add this. Is this file having unstaged changes now? Is this file 3 having unstaged changes now?
No.
No, it's just modified.
Because it's already
I did git add, right? I staged it just now. I staged it. There is no unstaged changes. So when you do git diff file name, see output is nothing. Means there were no unstaged changes. Means this diff command will help you check the unstaged changes of your file. There are no unstaged changes as of now. But is it having staged changes or not now? As of now, is file 3 having any staged changes or not?
Yes.
Yes.
So it is not having unstaged changes, but it is having staged changes. To see the staged changes, git diff staged flag will show you staged changes. Okay. Now again, I'm writing. Oh.
Which tool you are using? This one?
VS Code.
VS Code. Okay.
I have shown you how to install. I can help you at the end with it if you need any help there. Okay. So I'm adding another line. Now tell me, is it having unstaged changes or not?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's having unstaged change. Third line is unstaged. See, it was showing you that. Yeah. Also, it's having staged changes, isn't it? Second line is staged, right? Means simple logic. Some changes are staged, some changes are not staged. Means I'm keep on editing it. Whenever I edit some changes, means after adding, let's say, few lines, I have added it. And then again, I have added some more lines, but I haven't added that to staging area. Simple logic, correct? Means the file can have both staged and unstaged changes, right? At this point, when it is having both staged and unstaged, when you do git status, the same file will be shown under both staging and unstaged. Which one is staging? Changes to be committed. Is this staging or unstaged?
Staged.
Staged.
Staged changes. These are staged changes. Means it says it's in the staging area. These changes are unstaged. Means it's in the working directory. That could be practical, very much possible scenario. The same file could be shown both under staged and unstaged. There are pretty good chances for this scenario. So don't get confused. That's the intention of showing you that. It's a bit tricky, right? But yeah, quite possible, simple logic, and the logic is very clear. Yeah. Again, if someone want to put you test rigorously on Git, that could be another interview question. I would definitely pose this question if I am there for Git. Let's say I just want to test on Git because it's good, right? It needs a lot of thinking. Yeah, but very simple. If you just practice, if you are just using Git thoroughly or you are experienced person, definitely you could answer it. That's how we can identify the experienced people. Yeah. So that's how you can see it's having both staged and unstaged changes. There are pretty good chances same file could be both under staged and working. That's all. Now let's suppose you want to put it in local repository. How do you do? What should we do?
Recommit.
You can add and commit separately, or else because it's not a new file, I can do add and commit this way, right?
Yeah.
Done. Clean. Now if you do status, so yeah. Clear everyone? See, these are all the scenarios that happen when you are working, when you are managing your files. Okay, there is no
which line is unstaged or which line is staged?
changes to be committed. You have to refer to the architectural diagram. Yesterday we have discussed this Git architecture, right? Let me show you this architectural diagram again. This one. Like yesterday I have told you, you should register this in your mind when you are working with Git. Always relate to this in your mind and do this. So to be committed. Now go here. Sorry. Now come here. Yeah. Changes to be committed means where is it? To be committed means where are those changes?
Staging.
Staging area, right? Means staged changes. And the next part is changes not staged. Not staged means
Working directory.
Working directory.
unstaged means it's in the working directory. That's how you can identify.
Hi Preethi, for -a, for what purpose it's used?
Add and commit.
Okay.
You have to add and commit separately, like git add and git commit. You have to run this command separately. Git add, git commit if it is a new file for the first time. If it is not a new file, you can also do it together with this command. Git commit -a some message. A means add and commit. Because certain changes were unstaged, you have to stage them, you have to add them. So -a. And then commit all of them.
Preethi, which command we need to use to check like already executed commands? Like we are going back, right? So already the executed commands.
History command will show you, or else up arrow.
Up arrow.
Up arrow will give you the previous commands. Down arrow will give you the next commands. Up and down to browse through the order.
In that we'll only come to know changes to be staged, right? But we don't come to know which line has to be staged and that thing, right?
Git diff command will show you to certain extent. Like with a plus and minus, it was showing, right? When you do git diff, it was showing with a plus. Whatever lines added will be shown with a plus. Whatever lines deleted will be shown with a minus symbol. That's how you can understand what are the things, what are the content that's added to the file, what's the content that's deleted or modified. Any more questions?
One question. In Git revert, shall we remove any random ID?
Random things can be reverted through revert, but not through reset.
Okay, reset is not happening.
Reset only successive commit IDs.
Okay, in reset, shall we delete a particular ID, or we have to use any sequence?
Sequence only. That's what successive only in reset. Random not possible.
Successive means, so my question is, I want to delete.
Continuous. Successive means continuous.
I
Like
want to delete
top
only one
3.
particular. Okay.
Not possible. Particular not possible. Top
Okay.
3, top 4, top 5. Successive commit IDs.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Thanks.
This is reset and this is revert. The difference, revert. Okay. Reset means any successive commit IDs only. Any number of successive commit IDs you can revert. This will revert any commit ID. Okay. And then reset is, and then reset is successive commit ID. Reset will not generate a new commit ID. CID means, let's say, commit ID. Here, always a new commit ID will be generated. You cannot get them back. Once you reset, you cannot be reverted, particularly hard reset. Whereas this one can be reverted again. You can revert the revert, right? Means it will generate a new ID. You will revert that one, so you get the back to the same point. But that's not possible in reset. Clear now?
Yeah, clear. Thanks.
These are the differences. Very important. Today we have discussed about diff commands, like a diff file name will show you one stage. Diff staged flag will show you staged changes of the file. Right? This one we have discussed. And then we have discussed about git rm. Correct? It will delete the file both from working directory and local repository. If you want to delete only from local repository, rm cache. And then we have discussed about ignore, right? Git ignore. Yeah, so that we can exclude certain files from tracking using git ignore. And then we have discussed about revert and reset. Right? These things you have to have a good command on. This means only thing is practice, experiment. First, I would suggest, how do you do the hands-on? Watch the recording. Okay, parallelly open the Google Drive, follow the commands and do the hands-on. At least for the first time, you should do this way, right? Watch the recording, pause the recording, execute the hands-on. That's how parallelly you should do. You can take the help from Drive or the website and you do that. Once that's done, take up the quiz. Okay, once that quiz is also done, like if you want to master, then experiment your own things on them. First, do exactly what we did in the class so that you will get the clarity on the topic. Then you experiment difference, and definitely you might be having so many things in your mind, right? Like some of you are asking, what if 3 days commits we undo, or else, like so many things in your mind. Execute them, right? Experiment, try them. That's how you learn Git. These are the for these days, for particularly for Git, I'm asking you to execute the same scenarios because it's all about, like, these are the things you use to manage your files, manage your configuration files, manage your code base. That's all. This is about, like, let's say I want to undo, I want to edit. This is all how you manage your files. There will be no specific scenarios for each command. Wherever there are specific scenarios, I'm explaining you, like .git ignore or reset kind of. But the use cases would be the day-to-day life. If you want to manage your files, these are the commands you will be using. Not that every command you will use, but we will be learning everything to master it. Right? Whatever extent possible, we were covering it. So this is the order you have to do the hands-on. And if you're stuck up, post them in the group, post them in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Any hands-on anywhere, if you are stuck up, will help you. Also, we will talk about ChatGPT, how to utilize it as a DevOps assistant so that you can resolve your problems, resolve your issues, resolve your errors from your end. That also I'll help you with in the coming days. Any more questions from your end?
Ma'am, what we have understood is that anything, whether it is addition, deletion, or editing, that has to be added and committed. So that is what the beauty of version controlling, right?
Yep.
Ma'am, just probably it will be out of context what we have learned today or yesterday. You see, if we are using this Visual Studio Code and we have this some remote repository, and there you get some inbuilt command commit. Okay, if you click over there, then if you click over there, then the changes will be committed and will be pushed to the remote repository. Is it so? It in the backend, is it adding, then committing as well as pushing the changes?
You're talking about this part, git commit. Where are you running? On remote inbuilt git commit means, what do you mean by that? Inbuilt git commit on remote.
This Visual Studio Code on the very left side, this the first one is highlighted the file explorer. Then the second one is if you want to search something. Okay, the third one is version control. This icons we have now from top to bottom.
This.
These. The
See,
third one.
these ones I'm not talking about any GUI here. Yes, you see these because you can use them, you can connect to the remote and all, you can use these things. Here I'm not talking about this because it's not that always you use these things. Just ignore them. We have nothing to do there with them.
Okay, that's what I asked actually.
We have
Okay,
nothing
fine.
to do with them. And yesterday I had a question from one of the participants asking that, can we automate this commits and adds? Is that person available today? May I know who is that person? Is he available today? Is he or she? Someone asked yesterday, can we automate this git commit? Git commit is there. Can we automate it? Or else git add is there. Can we automate it? See, we can automate anything in this world. We have so many scripts, shell scripting is there, Python scripting is there. In so many ways you can automate it. But we will not automate these things, commits and it, because as a person who created them, you have to do them consciously, right? You know what to commit. You don't know like when you will write this code and when this have to commit it. Generally, we will not automate things because those should be done consciously. What we will automate is, once we see, I would like to remind you one more thing here. We did not go to remote it. We are still on this local repo, this yellow part, right? Because there were so many things we have to explore before we go to remote. That's what we were doing. Once we are thorough with local, we'll go to remote. So what we can automate is whenever some person made changes or someone pushed the changes to remote, then identifying that new change, pulling it, building it, those things will automate, but not the commits. Understood? Even though the person is not available, I think, but still, if anyone else having the same question, hope you understood the point. We will not automate the commits. Rather, we'll automate once commit is done, what to be done next. Those things will automate. Because commits are to be done consciously by developer or DevOps person or tester, whoever is the project related to. Any more questions from anyone?
Just want to know why we have to add actually. Since the file, let's say take the example of file1.txt. This changes are already pushed, correct? If you are making any changes in this file, then again we have to add and commit to make it available in the local repository. So why every time we have to add actually, since that file is already committed, so next time we
Your
have to
new
commit
change,
only.
your question has the answer itself. File is there, but new change is there. That's not added. Any change should go through this architecture. That's a Git architecture. Every change, every modification, every line, let's say in layman terms, it may not be a line, it may be a modification. It may not be necessarily always new line, right? It could be a modification to the line. Any change should go through working directory, staging area, local repository. First, initially it will be in working. You have to add it to the staging area. Like why staging area? In the architectural yesterday's class, we learned that. Pre-check. It's like a check. It's not that you straight away push from working directory to local. First, they should go to staging area, then to local. Preview, pre-check before your changes goes to local. File is there, but this new change is not there. That's what is the difference between unstaged and untracked, right? Like we were talking about yesterday. So keep this architectural diagram with you. You can also have a printout if you want to analyze, and if you just want to like memorize this every day, keep a printout, attach it to the wall nearby your laptop or system near your learning place, so that you will have this in your mind. If you have this in your mind, that's all is all about it. Anything will follow the same architecture, like any changes will navigate through the same process, right?
Yes.
And there is another concept, another important real-time concept called branching. Till now, we were just seeing master, but we did not discuss or talk about this till now, right? What is this master? What is its importance? What are the other branches? Why do we need branches? What is branching? All of that coming tomorrow. Step by step, we were getting into the real way of using the repositories. We shall start with this in the next class. Any other questions? Anything else from your end?
Preethi, like in real time, we will go for the like mixed reset or soft reset. Is there will be any
Very
scenarios?
rarely. Like I said, very rarely. If you are very sure you don't need any changes, you do that. Very rare.
Okay.
Like I haven't used reset till now. So that rare it is.
Okay.
All right, then we'll close here, and I'm expecting more responses on the quiz portal as well today. Please complete your tasks on daily basis. Initially, they might be simple, they might be looking simple, but if you keep up on daily basis, that will be very helpful to catch up the advanced concepts coming up as well. Okay, don't keep the things piled up. Link for Visual Studio, everything will be there in this folder, Utkarsh. You can check it out. See, this is the Visual Studio code editor, how to connect, everything there. Git log yesterday at last.
Can you
Okay,
just share this Google Drive path?
Google Drive, the LMS portal on the website, everything you will be shared with once you have registered.
Okay, fine.
So
and I
registered
think
means after paying
yeah,
fee.
fee, and once you confirm your enrollment, you will get access to everything. And there's a question from Utkarsh. I have issue with Git log yesterday at last. Please address this and let me know when present my screen. Can you tell me what was the issue with the Git log?
Actually, when I'm entering Git log, it is not showing any information there.
Have you done any commits?
Yes. Yesterday I have did the Git commit -m and in quotes message.
What did
So,
it say when you commit? Has it successfully committed? Can you run Git status and see what it was showing?
changes to be committed.
Changes to be committed means it's not committed. Run the commit message again and see the message.
Okay. Git commit -m file1.
If you want, you can present your screen. By the way, yeah, that's all for today. You can stay back. I'll help resolving the queries of the participants. If you want, you can stay back, or if you are running out of time, you can leave. Or else any questions, you can stay back.
Preethi, this Google Drive has the classes videos also. Each
Class
day.
videos will be in the YouTube. Okay, for few sessions, like these sessions might be public, but they'll be moved to private access.
No, what I'm saying is for the registered students, will the videos be posted in the drives as well?
That will be there in the YouTube with private access for registered students. Initially, the class 1, 2, 3 may be public. Anyone can see. But next day onwards, they'll be moved to private. Only registered students will have access to from then to everything else.
All those are YouTube videos, right?
YouTube private videos, yeah.
Okay.
Utkarsh, I made you the host. You can share your screen.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions from anyone? VS Code, Studio, editor, download, a link, everything is there in the same drive. Can you all see his screen, everyone?
Yes,
Yeah, you have to run those commands as suggested by git config global user. For me, it doesn't prompt me because I have already done that. Otherwise, you have to run those commands. Whenever you run some command, read the next content, what it is showing. It was asking you, right? Whenever you commit, it's saying git config, run those commands.
Yes,
Copy.
right now I have run that, but previously I also did that, but that issue is not resolved. That's why.
Okay, rerun again.
Add email also, bro.
Okay.
Always it's important whenever you run command, read the output. Always, not only when it goes to error, read the output. You will understand more from it. You will get a lot of clarity. Now do the commit. Now it is committed. Check the log now. Okay. All right then. Thank you all. Have a good day. See you all tomorrow.
Just
Yes,
want to ask one command, not from this. Just one command I want to ask. If you are adding a remote to Git from your branch, like it is like remote add, right? Command. To remove that one, what is the command?
To remove the connection with the remote?
Yes.
Git remote RM and the name of that.
That link of that which we are copying from.
Name of it. You will put a name, right? Git remote add horizon, some name.
Yes.
Horizon or whatever. So git remote RM, that name.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right then. Anyway, we will be talking about those concepts as well once we start remote. All right then. Good day, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Bye.
Yes.